Hello and welcome to an extra video. I know you're probably wondering, why are you doing a video so soon? It hasn't been a month yet, and you are correct, it has not been a month yet. But I have a couple of things I wanted to show you, and they weren't necessarily what I've stitched, so it's not that kind of thing. And as the title probably says, you figured out what this video is going to be about. I have shown in the past just a little bits here and there of some of the planner pages that I have created, designed, whatever. And I wanted to show you some more again. Just give you some ideas in case that's something that you're interested in, need some more fresh ideas, whatever, however you want to look at it. It is going to be for the month, all the weeks of January. Now, that doesn't mean you can only use those in January. If you like something, you could probably use it in another part of your planner on a different month. I think most of them, I can't remember all for sure, are more winter related. And so therefore, if you still have winter in February and possibly into March a little bit, I know people are itching to get into spring stuff, so they kind of want to be done. But if you still have some January stuff you need to do, or February, then these might be of help. If not, maybe you'll save this idea for next year and use it next year. It's really hard fitting certain things in because sometimes you want to put winter in, but in December you're like thinking about Christmas. And sometimes people use all of their December pages and decorate as Christmassy. And so then it's kind of like, well, where do you put winter then? And so January seems to be the best time for that. Maybe a little bit into February too. Anyway, so I am going to put those in. I'll go ahead and put those in first, those videos. If you are not interested in watching the planner pages, then I'm going to put a timestamp in as to when you can just jump to the next segment, which are going to be about some bags that I have to offer. Yeah, so I'll put that timestamp in here, and you can decide which part you want to watch. Here we are. I'm going to show you those pages that I had talked about in my last video. Yeah, I really wanted to be able to do this because it's just, I really like how they had turned out, and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And sometimes, like with this one especially, I started it and I ended up having to go do something, which is a good thing because I needed to walk away from it for a bit because it just wasn't coming together. So this original piece, it's a piece of cardboard, or not cardstock type thing, and it's actually with this shape. It was the shape of the clock. Now I cut it in half and obviously punched holes in it, but and I drew the hands on it. But other than that, it just came like that. So you would get that at like Joann's or somewhere. That's where I had picked it up, and I knew I kind of wanted to do something like with this for the clock, but I didn't know exactly how else I was going to do the rest of it. So I had a stamp set that does lots of different clocks. So I've got small clocks and then bigger, two different clock sizes. And some have regular numerals and some have Roman numerals on them. And for the big ones as well as the little ones. So the big ones and the little ones have those different numbers. And then the hands are all separate, so you can make it whatever time you wanted to. So I did a bunch of those on a couple different colored papers with kind of a little bit of it was a brownish kind of ink, kind of looked antique-y type of feel to me. Plus the paper was like that too. I think I'd purchased this kind of glittery cardstock stuff, and so I ripped that down. I ended up adding, let me see if I can find it up here real quick because I forgot to grab that. I have washi tape here it's got rose on it as well as some of this printing, and I ended up adding some of that in a couple of places. This is it too, and here. And then I had a bunch of variety of sticker packs that had a whole bunch of different things in them. So I'm not even going to try and get those out because there's so many. I mean, it was even little things like this that have little stickers in them. And so I'm not going to find all of those and dig all those out for you, but I did that. In some of those sticker packs, I had some of these frame type things, and so I could put some of the information I wanted it in it, if I can speak correctly. This is just regular old paper, like, yeah, I don't even think it's cardstock. It's just regular paper you'd put through your printer. And what I did with the same ink that I used for this is I sponged this color on it, and then I edged the paper with it. So I just ripped it, sponged it, and then edged it. And so that and this one are the same. I don't have a lot of squares on here for writing. I can always add more, but there wasn't a lot going on, or there were things going on that were going to take up lots of days, so I don't know how much I'm going to be filling in on this page, but I do really, really like it. The next one is fun. There we go. And so that one, I used the Villains pack from Happy Planner. And it's got Ursula from Little Mermaid. It's got Maleficent from Beauty and the Beast. It's got the Wicked Queen from Snow White. I got 101 Dalmatians. Let me see. Oh, Scar from Lion King. I think those are the 6 different characters, and each of them has several pages. You can kind of see the back there where lots of pages and stuff. So I used this one. I like the blue because it is in January, but I like a lot of what the sayings were. Today needs to be canceled. I like that. Up to no good. Don't care. And this one, everyone was thinking it. I just said it. So it's a little sassy. I really liked it. Then I had from, I'll get another one out that I forgot. Live, Love, Posh is one of her sticker books. It's the blue one. And that's what I used for the flowering in the different places. Some of this, like this, came with the villain stuff. So some of the squares were in this as well. This was in the villain pack, but these two were in the Live, Love, Posh one. So I made it work with the coloring. Yeah. So yeah, this splotch came with the villain one. Again, a couple of them were from the villains, but the rest of them I used from this other pack. So look around and see what you've got in order to make things work together. It's really, really nice when you can have something that just has everything that you need, and it's all going to match and it's all going to coordinate, but that's going to be rare. So just kind of play with what you've got. It doesn't, I didn't know if these were going to work, but they're pretty dark. They'll work. They're a little off. It's kind of got a little bit, I don't know how well you can tell, but kind of a greenish, bluish, it's not just a pure blue like these are. But it works. It doesn't have to be exact. All right, the next one was this. This, I got a pack. It's this. I'll show you the back so you can see everything that was in it. I got this at, it's called Craft Warehouse. I know not everybody is potentially going to have one of those. So it had pretty much everything. Now what I also did was I got some paper, cardstock paper, like for scrapbook and stuff. Turn it around so you can see this. And it was next to where that pack was, so it definitely matches, and that's what I did up here, like snow was falling. So I used that. And then down here, I already had this. I'm sure you could have found something similar if you wanted to buy this. This is actually, it was like an 8.5 by 11 piece of sticker paper. So it's already sticky. And I just did a scallop edge to make it look like snow at the bottom. The squares, I happened to find some scratch leftover paper that matched well enough for coloring, and then put white paper over the top of it. So I just made my own little squares to write in. I can always write around the squares or add more squares if I wanted to. Like up here, I added a ribbon because this is what it looks like it's for, is to add a ribbon through it. And so if I wanted to put any stuff here for writing, I could just add another square because I wouldn't be able to write on top of the ribbon. Okay. I happen to have a month sticker, so I put that in here. Because I covered all this up, I had to put this up here somehow. I have a whole bunch of alphabet stickers stuff because I used to do a lot of scrapbooking way back when my kids were younger. So I had some numbers that I found and they used, and I don't know how much you can tell, but if you look at these two sets of numbers, they are not the same pack. They are not from the same thing. They're slightly different because I did not have enough. I had to have a lot of ones for this and a lot of twos. And you're not always going to find that in that pack. And that's okay. Now, if I was, it's close enough. If I hadn't pointed it out, I don't know if somebody would have just automatically noticed. If you got stuff that is so different, that looks quite a bit different, pepper it in throughout. Like put a little bit something different here, maybe here, and then maybe here. So it looks like you did it on purpose. Like you're not trying to make it look all the same. And again, those days of the week were in this again. So they've got 3 different colors of blues in this. So whenever she's got these color packets, she's got 3 different colors of blues. So you can match to whatever you think is going to work. And then days of the week are part of it, as well as a couple other things. It's not just flowers and boxes. She's got a lot of different things in there. So that is what I ended up using. These were tags from that pack, and I just added, it's just DMC floss. That's all that is. I just wanted something to look like it, was a little more like a tag. So all of that, what came from that one pack. That's why I'm saying most of it's nice when you can have one thing that's going to have everything. Now, it didn't have the squares, the boxes, so you can fill in what you're going to do for that week, but it had just about everything else. So there is that. And then the last one that I'm going to show you is this. This idea came from somebody else that does planner pages on the YouTube. That's what they do. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same kind of, it's very close. I had to change up some things because I thought I had those sticker packs that she was using, but I'd used those specific things already. So I had to change up kind of some of it. Plus she was using it on horizontal. I'm using it on vertical, which doesn't necessarily matter, but I kind of had to do stuff a little differently because it wasn't fitting quite right. So the color scheme was basically black and kind of this green. I used black in this green, but I'm also using gold, and I don't know, it's not really showing up, even just me looking at it. This paper back here behind is actually gold. These circles are gold foil. This has got gold foil on as writing. There's a little bit of gold foil here, as well as some of these other flowers. So I kind of have a little bit more than just the black and the green. Because once I put this down, the center part's down. And it was kind of a minimalist page to begin with, and I knew that. I kind of wanted that, something a little different. But because this was the main thing for each page, once I put it down, I'm like, oh, that needs a little bit more. So I scoured through and found all of my flower ones that I thought would work. So it's basically things that were kind of outline type flowers and not filled in or realistic, like a photograph looking type of flower. So I found those and matched them all together and just filled them in to create this edging. Okay. The other thing that I did to give you ideas is these and this were not, I didn't get them out of a book that way. So I had the circle themselves, but the picture inside is what I added. So this was added to that circle, and then the coffee cup and the old plate of goodies was added. I didn't have to do anything special with this one. This one I had to cut a roundedness on it so that it would butt up right against that gold edging. It looks good. Looks like it was meant to be that way. So that is something you can do too. Make it look like the sticker came that way. So yeah. So those are all of my January pages. I hope you enjoyed them. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep up and get like maybe the next month's stuff done ahead of time, because I hate being rushed so much and feeling like on Friday, oh, I don't have next week's pages done. So hopefully I will get those done, and I will add those to, I don't know how I'm going to do this video, because I wanted you to be able to see this in case you wanted ideas for January, or you just want to look at it, the stuff while it's in January. So if I don't have February stuff done like right away, then I'm going to have to do a separate video for that, which is fine. But this gives you something to look at and some kind of fun things to kind of get ideas from. I hope you enjoyed those if you watched that part. Now we're going to jump into the bags. I made several. And I wanted to put this out in case you watched this video and you saw this before you saw anything on Instagram, or in case you don't look on Instagram, then maybe you'll see these and be able to get something because you didn't realize I was out there, even though I'm trying to let people know in the videos. Go onto my Instagram site and there you can see bags I have. And don't forget that if you do follow me on Instagram, or you do happen to find me there, if you haven't been following me, you don't necessarily have to wait till I post something new. If you go onto my specific site, you can look at all the past posts that I have done, and most of the time the bag might be available, or I can make more of those. It will say in the description what size the bag is that I'm showing you specifically, as well as whether I can make more. If I can't make more, it will say sold, and there won't be an option for that. So go ahead and look for that. And also remember, with the bags that I have, the fabric I am able to do, and as I've already said, multiple sizes, but also in other things. So if you wanted one of those bobbin files that I have been doing, so it's got a rose and little pockets, little clear pockets to put your bobbinated floss in to hold as each project, easily fit in your project bag. I also have the floss wallets. So those open up, and then they have the fabric in there that the floss just wants to naturally stick to. And so if you have orts, or if you have taken a section of floss off and you don't need all of it, and you kind of wind it up, you just want to set it on that fabric, and in case you need more of it as you're stitching, you can do that. Lots of different things you can do with those. I can make those too. You just have to let me know that's what you want, sizes, all that good stuff, or we can talk, we can DM each other and whatnot. If you see stuff today that you want, I am going to go ahead and let me know through the comments on these videos. You could also go over to my Instagram and DM me there if you want it to be more of a private message. That's fine. We just have to make sure we're communicating as to which things that we want, whether you see it here or DM me there. I'm hoping to get this video up. Today is January 13th. I'm hoping to get this video up today. If not, it will be Saturday. And I'm going to do the Instagram for these bags, so I'll do the posts with the photos and everything either Saturday or Sunday. So this will give you a little tiny bit of a jump ahead of that, in case you happen to see it before it goes up on Instagram. So that's kind of the nice thing about being able to see this potentially a little early. So with that, let's get into what I have to show you. As I mentioned, there are several. I have made all of these except for one as 14 by 14. I know a lot of times lately I've been making the small bags, and that way I have more fabric to do with whatever people want. But I just felt like making the 14 by 14 this time. Okay, first bag we have is this lovely beauty. I love this. I love the fabric. It's this beautiful green teal with the black flowers and ribbons on it. The back looks like this, matching colors. So there we go. As I mentioned, 14 by 14. I'm not going to necessarily show all of the zipper pulls in detail because I may end up having to make some slightly different because it depends what I have available. If I was able to make just one of that one, remember all of them will be color coordinated if there's coloring in them, or if I have a charm that hangs from them, then the charm will, you know, work with whatever the bag is looking like. In this case, it's a pretty simple pull because I was having a hard time finding stuff. But yeah, so there's bag number one. Figure out where I'm going to put these things. Bag number two. Oh, so cute. Is this adorable or what? So we've got a bookshelf. Got different things. So there's an owl here and a bird here, and of course the giant cat laying behind books and on the bookshelf. Here is the back. So yeah, there we go. I love this one. It's so cute. So cute. And all of you wouldn't be able to see it here as well. When I do a photo of it, you could always zoom in. All of the titles of the books are cat related. So let me see if I can read some of these because some of them are a little faint. Cat O' Nine Tails is one. A Tale of Two Kittens. Let me see. Little Brown Mouse. Of course, cats like to chase the mice. How to Catnap with a Smile. Field Guide to the Garage Can, or Garbage Can. Is that what it is? It's really hard to read some of these titles. Anyway, so there's lots and lots of cat titles on the books. Very, very cute. There's that one. Now, Valentine's is going to be coming up before we know it. So I did do some that are kind of Valentine's related. Some of them you can kind of think of as Valentine's, and some, you know, it just looks nice and I can go with it as a Valentine's or not. And this first one's kind of in that category. Maybe it is Valentine's, maybe it's not. It kind of depends on how you want to look at it. And that is this. It is so cute. So cute. So we've got lots of animals, some moths in there, maybe butterflies. And then here is the back. So it coordinates very similar to the stuff, just a little different. Notice we do have an alphabet, kind of like a sampler. So cute. So cute. So there is another one, whether you wanted to use this as a Valentine's or not. The other two are very much looking like Valentine's for sure. And this one. It's very pink. It's got a truck with flowers in it. You know, the hearts, the candy, all kinds of goodies. Is that a kissing booth? Yes, there's a kissing booth. So there is the front, and the back has all kinds of X's and O's all over and little hearts on the back. Black. So there is one Valentine-ish kind of bag. The next one is definitely Valentine-ish as well. And that's some gnomes. Some gnomes with a bunch of heart confetti. Aren't they cute? So cute. There's that. And then got pink this time with X's and O's and little hearts all over it to go with this. So yeah, there's another one. If you like gnomes for Valentine's, there you go. You are set. The next one, I have 3 different bags, all with the only difference, there's one that's smaller. The other 2 are the 14 by 14. And the only other difference is the fabric around the zipper. So you can kind of see if you like one versus the other. I'll show you the small one first. So it's this, and then this is on the back. Now, I have a little story about this. These two fabrics, the back and the front, don't necessarily go with each other. So this is actually like Little Women stories. So like the houses from the Little Women. So we have the Moffat house, Lawrence's house, March house, the Parish. They might show more on the bigger one. So it goes with that. But the reason that I got this fabric for this, you know, it's cute, but it goes kind of with the back. And the back, looks like writing, doesn't it? Are all Mr. Rogers sayings. Yes, he was a wonderful man. Some of them are big, and I will read some of these so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Some of them are almost paragraph and smaller writing, so I'm not going to read some of those. It's not so much what we have in this life that matters, it's what we do with what we have. Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Anyone who does anything to help a child in his life is a hero. In a way, you've already won in this world because you're the only one who can be you. Anything worthwhile certainly takes a while. That's so true. There are 3 ways to ultimately succeed. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third way is to be kind. Those are just some of the sayings that are on here. It's just chock full of them. So that is why I went ahead and did something like this, because I wanted it to be neighborhood look, have that kind of look to it, kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now, I know it doesn't look exactly the same. He was much more of a city, you know, but I kind of wanted to give that idea of this. And if you like Little Women, it's a bonus. So there is the small one. This is an 8 by 10, in case you're curious on the size for that. Here is the larger one. So you can see a little bit more of the neighborhood, and then a lot more of the sayings on the back. There were some that I didn't even read. I'm trying to... There is no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. You guys remember him saying that? I like you just the way you are. He was a wonderful man. Okay, the last one that's a little different is this darker fabric. And it matches along with this darker coloring in here. I think I have more that I can do some of this dark fabric. If you wanted more bags like that, I would just have to double check on that because I can't remember. It's been a long process getting all this done. All right, and the last one. The last one is something that was very popular the last time I had it. Just checking to see if everything's sitting right. And I ran out of stuff. I think I still did have some panels, but they weren't the ones that people wanted. And now I have more. Dun, 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 dun. I have these. She Who Sews is the name of these panels. So there's lots of different sewing references, but a lot, I think every single one of them has a Bible reference. So you've got that one down here. Okay. So it has all the sayings in here relate to that verse, that Bible verse. Okay. The thing I had to do differently was the back fabric. It is not the same that I used before because I can't get it anymore. I just happened to find these panels, but not the fabric that was the back originally. This is very similar in the coloring and look and style, but it's not the same. So don't think that you're going to get the same one. So this is the one I have made. Take courage. I will show you the other panels so you get an idea if you don't remember, which I wouldn't expect anybody to remember what the panels were because I don't even remember. And that way you have an idea of what else I have available to make, because I can make these, all of these into these bags. So here's this one. And I will hold them here just for a minute so you can read them. Here is this one. Get my fabric to unroll because I think there's 12 of these different panels. Here is this one. Some of them are a little different, that is for sure. So you just have to let me know. We'll talk about which ones you like. Here's this one. Okay, I think we're about halfway through there, folks. Hang in there. We're getting there with these. Here's this one. All right, we've got 3 more left, I believe. And the last one. Okay, so those are all the panels. So if you're interested in any of those, you'll need to let me know. A lot of times what we can do is find something, some kind of the big writing on it. Let me find something here. And that tells me which panel. Like this one says, press on. Okay, so press on towards the upward call is the whole thing. But if you pick out one of the big titles in there, then I will know exactly which panel you're talking about, because if you try to describe the girls in them, sometimes they overlap. It's hard to tell which ones you're referring to, and we will keep talking back and forth, and eventually we'll figure it out. But usually the wording in it is the thing that's going to make it different. Okay, so let me know, and if you're interested in that. And that's kind of why I wanted to give this video, for those who are watching it, a little jump start on possibly ordering these, because those bags went like that last time. They were gone. So yeah, anyway, that is it for this video. I hope that it was helpful to be able to, see some planner pages as well as seeing the bags ahead of time. If it is past like the 15th, there's a good chance that I have these on Instagram. So you'll probably need to hop over there. If you're not sure, just go check on Instagram and see, and that way you'll know if they're already up there. They might have been, people might have already started to claim them. My Instagram is bags_by_Wendy. And Wendy is Wendi. I will try to put all of that information in the description, so you will have that. You can see it's a visual reminder of what, where to go look for it. But yeah, I hope that was all great for you to be able to see, and we will see you probably in a couple of weeks on my normal videos for the month. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye.